It's Onorato and Miller. Olympic Games wrapping up in Paris. They have been phenomenal. The ratings have been huge. Every time I think, do I like the summer games or the winter games better? When the summer games come around, I'm reminded I like the summer games better. And it's the staples of swimming and track and field and gymnastics that hook you. But there are all those other great storylines too that come into play. We're all over the Paris games and NFL training camps as well. Preseason games are finally here. I get it. Nobody cares, but we're less than a month away from regular season kicking off. Let's go.
This is Onorato and Miller, sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Alpenhaus, Marcella's, Bev's, Performance Industrial, Saratoga Casino Hotel, and our crew over at Novice, outfitting so much of News Channel 13's gear in the field. Sam, thank you. Yes, right. We were off last week. I kind of almost forgot, Sam. Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like 100 years ago?
Appreciate it. Not on TV again this week because of the Olympics, but we're here on Facebook and YouTube, and it does. It feels like a very long time ago. We were fortunate enough to get away for a week in Spain, Barcelona, and Madrid, and we absolutely loved it.
We did.
But good to be back. Good to be back. All right, let's react to what just happened here on Thursday, and this is Team USA men's basketball. I said before the Olympics,
all right,
that this men's team would not play a game closer than 7 points. Remember, I said it would be 2+ possessions.
Incorrect.
And here you go. And every game had been a blowout. Now, they played Serbia in pool play and beat them by 26. They just beat Brazil in the quarterfinals by 35. The team has been steamrolling, but was absolutely pushed to it all in the test today. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you're, I was going to say, push to the test is right. Down 17 at any point in a game. I don't care if it's, I know it was kind of second quarter, and I did look up when you texted me. I checked and I'm like, all right, well, it's late second. There's still, a lot of time to be played, but you knew Serbia would give them a run. That you've at least got some talent on that team.
No doubt.
Namely Jokic, but
Bogdanovic played well. They had other guys I don't know who
hitting
were
threes,
raining threes like crazy. It was fun, and the best part was the third and fourth quarter for me. They were down double digits at the half, and I think maybe even double digits going to the fourth as well. But you saw the supreme talents of Steph Curry, LeBron James all game long. And then specifically in the fourth quarter, Joel Embiid and Kevin Durant were out of this world. You're just reminded how good these guys are when they need to be. And they needed every bit of it today. Curry had 37 or something insane like that. And LeBron had a triple-double. It was. I cannot wait for Saturday's final against France. Maybe it ends up being a blowout in U.S.
this
favor.
Was better, but
it's going to be fun because you've got Wemby in his home country, the boos that will rain down on Embiid because he chose to play for U.S. over French. I mean, they were booing him today. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, listen, it'll be fun. Every time you get a home team playing in a really eventful game, the French crowds have been great.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely fantastic. And just even if it wasn't the U.S., but it's going to be so much better. And those crowds are going to be great, cheering for France, cheering for Wembanyama against the kind of the evil empire in the U.S. that has run basketball for a long time now. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, can't wait. So that's 3:30 Saturday afternoon. U.S. women's soccer team will play for gold at 11 a.m. on Saturday.
What a day.
And that's against Brazil. That's going to be a lot of fun.
What a day.
Yeah. U.S. women's hoops involved as well for a gold medal. They go for an 8th straight gold, which is just absolutely insane. So the best from what we saw at the Olympics coming up, who delivered, who disappointed, who surprised. And it leads us to this.
It's time for the MVP of the month, sponsored by Marcella's Appliance Center.
Johnny Marcella, our guy at Marcella's Appliance Center. All those appliances here, the Onorato household, are from Marcella's. We love the crew over there. Our MVP of the month for July is Simone Biles. Individual all-around gold, vault gold, team gold. I only listed the golds here, but certainly you should
There's
and
a silver
could
as well
include
in there.
the silver for the floor routine. At 27 years old, back from the twisties in Tokyo, and as good as ever.
As good as ever. And you know, I think we had already been talking about her, and the rest of the gymnastics world would talk about her as the greatest ever American, arguably the greatest ever gymnast in the world. And she just kind of solidified that. I think it was, you know, you could make the argument before. Now there's no argument. The argument is over. It's done. And for me, it's not the medal count that does it. It's the ability to do things that no one else on this planet can do. Yeah. You are the best of your kind by far. And it's not even close. I mean, one girl did a skill. Yeah. One that's named after Simone, which means Simone was the first to do it. Another person finally just did it. And Simone has, oh, by the way, like 4 or 5 other skills named after her. Yeah. So like when you're just doing things at that level, you're that much better than everyone else. It's for me, it's not a contest.
Thought here from Sam, Tori Husk, 5 medals, 3 golds, 2 silvers. And is this her first games, Husk?
I believe it is.
She was terrific in all facets, the relays especially. She played such a key role in winning for Team US. Yes. Great.
There are always, she was a little bit of my surprise, only because I don't generally know anything about swimming. Yep. So she would have been my surprise, because there's always that one swimmer who you've never heard of because we don't watch it all day, every day when it's not an Olympic year. And for me, it was her. I'm sure a lot of other swimmers have heard of her before.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's not,
someone
not
who
a
kind
sport that's easily accessible.
Someone who has a coming out party and makes a name for themselves in the sport and is still very young and has a really bright future.
Yeah. Okay. Best thing you saw at the Paris Summer Olympics. Thursday night as we do the show, it's not over, but to this point, what's the best thing you've seen?
So listen, I'm going to go away from the US and America a little bit, and I'm going to ride the wave that I talked about, the French crowds. And I didn't see this live, but I had someone tell me about this, and I had since looked it up. And this was, as crazy as this sounds, a French judo. I don't even know. I know there's a name for it. I don't know the name for someone who does judo. A French judo guy who
judo athlete.
He is an icon in France. He's going for a record 4th gold medal in judo. He wins it in like the last 16 seconds of the match. So he wins himself an individual gold. Well, then they're tied at 3 as teams. So they go to extra. We call it like extra time.
Extra time. Sure.
You spin a wheel to bring up the weight class that's going to compete for a like sudden death extra time thing. First point wins. Points are hard to come by in judo.
We need more random wheel spinning.
Well, and listen, I wish it was
more of that.
I wish it was like the Price is Right wheel. It's electronic, so you know it was kind of rigged. Like this guy, he was like, he's on his way out. This is his last Olympics. He's already an icon. His weight class comes up immediately after he had just wrestled, and the place is going crazy. They're obsessed with this guy. He goes, wins again, and wins gold for France. So wins another medal, another gold medal, and just kind of rides off into the sunset. The atmosphere was wild. Like, I don't even care about judo. I don't care about French judo. It was incredible. Okay. I was listening to the French call. I was listening to the French broadcasters. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Oh boy, best thing.
There have been a lot of great things.
There have been a lot of great things. I like the dude who has to swim to the bottom of the pool in order to get the caps. That's kind of fun. He's become famous in ways.
It's like, you know, the meme that happens every 4 years of the the lifeguard sitting like with his hands in his lap, because who needs a lifeguard at an Olympic pool when you've got the best swimmers in the world? Maybe someday.
Now, this isn't the best thing I saw, but it's the strangest and funniest thing I saw was the French pole vaulter.
Oh, yeah.
Who struggled to clear the bar. Let's just say a different apparatus got in the way and knocked the bar down. Now, if you want to get technical about it, I think a different part of his body hit the bar first, so he was already DQ'd. This was the knockout blow, if you will. What a moment.
Did you see?
Look, when you wear these extremely tight, revealing outfits,
well, yeah, because you don't want to wear baggy stuff that could clip things.
Right.
And he got a sponsorship pretty quickly after.
Viagra?
No, but it's something similar to that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but they were immediately like right to him.
Okay, Sam's right. This is the best thing we've seen at the Olympics, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, but that's not an event. I mean, I get it. And we've talked about him a lot. He's made a transformation. And has become the most likable man on the planet. Yeah. And it's fantastic. Him and listen, he's dressed up in equestrian garb. Yeah. He's calling equestrian. He's sitting with Martha. He's cheering for Caleb Dressel and his wife with the kid in the stands. He's cheering for.
He's everywhere.
Water polo. Yep. He has not discriminated when it comes to sport. He's been at beach volleyball. He's been at all of them. And he's cheering like a madman.
How about best thing we saw that minuscule difference with Noah Lyles winning the 100 meter. He's the fastest man. What do they call it? Fastest man alive by 5,000ths of a second. That might have been the best thing we saw.
And listen, if it weren't for the very specific rules of what has to cross the line first, he wouldn't have won that race. You know what I mean? Like the track and field has, the head torso, because someone's foot was over, but doesn't count. Wild. I mean, it took 30 seconds, and that's a very long time in track. Right. 30 seconds for them to determine that it was Noah who won the race.
Yeah. All right. So Lyles delivered somewhat surprisingly in the 100, because the 200 is really his event. He had COVID. He ended up winning bronze in the 200. So he delivered. Mm-hmm. Sydney McLaughlin-Lavroni delivered with a world record in the 400. Katie Ledecky delivered. Dressel delivered.
Scotty Scheffler
delivered. Novak Djokovic wins gold. So far, the men's and women's hoops teams have delivered. The women's soccer. These are the people, right, who came in with the expectation of gold or bust in a lot of ways, and that includes Scheffler. He's the number one player in the world.
But there were plenty of other people,
and
like
they have
Schauffele.
Delivered.
Yeah.
Now, who disappointed?
I hate to do it, but men's 3x3.
Yeah.
Our guy Jimmer. And I know he got hurt.
Yeah.
But
I know.
Right from the jump, it was
so
unfortunately
Serbia
not pretty.
Was the favorite.
Yep. And they played
the
well
US
against them.
Was slight behind them. Yep. Serbia was like plus 150. The US was plus 170. And neither of those countries ended up playing for gold.
Yeah. And it's not losing to Serbia. It's losing to the other teams that they had no business losing to that bothered me.
Yeah, Jimmer's injury obviously played a big factor. But they lost that first game to Serbia, and they looked tight. I mean, Jimmer missed a wide open layup. They just weren't making shots. And it kind of was a foreshadowing for the way that was going to go. Yeah, 3x3, yes. I would.
Beach volleyball for the U.S. hasn't been good. Eliminated.
Yep, first time in forever. Thankfully, indoor volleyball is a little bit better. Disappointment.
But no real.
Sha'Carri Richardson, right? And I hate to say you win silver.
Yeah, I mean,
and you've disappointed,
right?
But it was hers, and everybody assumes she's going to win, and that's when it gets dangerous. Is when you're like the clear, okay, she's going to win.
But for someone who had never been to an Olympics and never won a medal, I don't know that you can say like, oh yeah, that person's going to win gold. It doesn't feel quite right, but
yeah. I mean, I
I don't watch enough to know this, Sam. I don't watch enough to know this. And
Funny.
Sam,
Go
final
ahead.
comment.
Elisa Mevis. Yep.
Elisa Mevius. So I don't know who remembers, but Elisa Mevius played for Siena.
Yep.
And transferred to Oregon. So she's about to play her junior season at Oregon. She is a part of the German 3x3 women's basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, they won gold.
Yep.
And she was a huge part of their success. So I forget who brought that up. Maybe my boss, Matt, potentially. But yeah, looked her up. I didn't even know she had transferred, number one. But that's pretty incredible.
She, in her sophomore year at Siena, averaged 12, 7, and 5, something in that neighborhood.
I mean, she was incredible. I covered her freshman year.
Yep.
She was incredible.
Yep. And on to Oregon. From Siena to Oregon, okay, we're talking about a different type of class of player, right?
That's when you know the portal is working.
Anything shock you from these games as a surprise? An athlete, a team?
What did I write down? No, Husk was my surprise. Nothing shocking. I mean, the U.S. being down 17 is a little shocking.
No doubt.
But they didn't win. So not they didn't lose, sorry. So I'm not overly shocked.
Yeah.
What about you?
You know what? How about that men's 1,500 meter race? That comeback.
Oh, yeah.
By the
fourth to first?
Hocker from Indianapolis.
Yep.
Like, that was a heck of a comeback.
Have you seen his parents? The video of his parents in the stands?
The surprise was that he won because there was a heavy favorite, and that heavy favorite didn't even hit the medal stand. So the surprise was the comeback and that he won, and the surprise is that I'm even talking about it right now, the men's 1,500 meter. But that's what happens at the Olympics.
I think I've enjoyed track and field more than I've enjoyed anything else this Olympics.
Okay.
I've enjoyed swimming. I haven't watched a lot of gymnastics as much as I had normally, and we didn't see a ton in Spain. So
it's right. So we're gone for a week, and I'm sure that played a factor.
Yeah.
But what's weird is, this shouldn't be the case, everything's happening during the day, and you just can't commit the entire day to sitting in front of the TV watching it.
Unless you're Sam, he's watching archery.
I mean, I've tried, believe me. How about this best thing we saw at the Olympics? Clark Kent, the gymnast.
That has taken over a lot of the internet. That was pretty great. Steven Nadarazic.
Yeah.
You call him Clark Kent. You don't put his name up there.
Well, it's better to call him the glasses.
It's pretty great. Gets on the pommel horse, crushes.
All right, we're back in a minute.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on. For cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair, you can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
Using the highest quality materials, artisanal craftsmanship, and creative design, we're ready to help bring the vacation experience to your own home. With custom-designed Legacy Edition pools, we're confident we can turn your backyard into your own personal oasis. And we'll be by your side through the whole process. Get outside this summer with Alpenhaus. Be sure to visit our brand new 16,000 square foot showroom expansion on Route 30 in Amsterdam. Alpenhaus Pools and Hot Tubs, Amsterdam and Clifton Park.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
All right, we're not quite finished with the Olympics yet, but let's get into what's happening around NFL training camps. And when we were last on the show, so you got to go back 2 weeks, I said then on a Thursday night, maybe it was a Wednesday night, I don't know, that Jordan Love would have his contract before the Packers hit the practice field on Friday. They had an off day on Thursday. I said, this thing will get done. He'll get his contract before practice on – that didn't happen. It happened Friday night, but it was quick.
Pretty good.
Well, I mean, look, you knew it was there. Yeah. It just had to work out the little bit of details probably, and so it's done. And Tua Tagovailoa got his deal first, actually, by a day or two. They're both going to make middle of $50 million a year. And I don't know. I don't want to ask which one is over. Can either of these teams win with one of these guys making as much as he is at that position?
I mean, the Dolphins' time is now. There's a window. They have enough talent to be competitive. I don't know if they're a top 3 team in the league, but they're a top 6 team, probably. So
I think they could finish 3rd in their division, and that wouldn't surprise anybody, right?
But still, I mean, the AFC is better than the NFC.
I'm talking about the AFC East.
Yeah, but we know that the AFC in general recently has had maybe the 5 best teams to the 1 best team in the NFC.
Right.
So, I think the Dolphins can. I know you love Jordan Love.
Well,
I don't know that they're going to win with him making $50 million a year and not having added other things that they probably need to add to be a top team in the NFC.
Okay. I think Green Bay will win more important games over the next 5 years than Miami.
Ooh.
I just don't, and look, I'll be probably eating my words at some point here. I don't trust this Dolphins makeup to win games in January and February. I just don't.
Yeah.
They have to get the number 1 seed.
Right, got to play home.
They are not going to Cincinnati, Buffalo, Kansas City, and winning a playoff game. It's not happening.
Cincinnati maybe now.
It's cold. I'm not even worried about the team on the other side.
Yeah,
I'm worried about the weather. Tua in the weather. I just don't trust it. And I don't trust the Mike McDaniel offense. And I understand they rack up rushing yards, but it's done in too pretty and fancy of a way that I don't trust Miami to win in a cold weather playoff scenario. I just don't.
I think if their running backs stay healthy, that's a different story. Their running backs
they
healthy.
were ravaged. You're right.
They weren't
Chan
healthy. To say that, I mean, they were basically down to a passing game only and not a full-fledged passing game. So I think if that team's healthy, I think it's a different story. Cincinnati, for me, there is a lot to be desired from a talent perspective. But yeah, I get it. And I don't disagree that they need to be playing home in order to be as successful as they want to be.
Green Bay also has the advantage of like a ton of skill position guys are on rookie deals, whereas you're way up there to pay Hill and Waddle.
What are you going to win with rookie guys, the rookie deal guys?
I think that group could, yeah. I mean, look, I'm not putting Jordan Love in the Mahomes category, but Mahomes has won back-to-back Super Bowls with no-name receivers. Travis Kelce's a tight end. Name me the best receiver that's been on this Chiefs team the last 2 years. Rashee Rice, Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore? No, right? But you have Patrick Mahomes.
That's why Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league.
So, if Jordan Love can elevate to not a Mahomes level, but to the type of player Aaron Rodgers was when Green Bay won it all, it's possible. Here's the guy who hasn't been paid yet, Dak. When will he get paid? Who will pay him?
Who will he get paid by?
He's not getting paid before the season. That's very clear.
No, I don't blame.
The Cowboys be the team to pay him.
No.
I think you're right, too.
I don't know.
I don't think he gets paid until the offseason, and I don't think it'll be the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys, they won't win the Super Bowl this year. They won't get to the Super Bowl this year. And so I think Dallas will move on from him. And here's my prediction. The New York Giants. The New York Giants will pay Dak Prescott
too much money.
Way too much money. I don't know. I don't really know what too much money is anymore. It's only too much if you struggle to make it work under the salary cap with other guys.
Or if you struggle to win games.
Or struggle to win. Exactly. So I don't want to say that Love or Tua have been paid too much yet, or that Jared Goff has been paid too much yet, because I want to see what they accomplish in the 4 or 5 years that they're under that contract. I think Prescott to the Giants. The draft class is bad. They're going to want to move on from Daniel Jones.
That's
Dak.
Also a guy that I'm not putting that dude in cold weather.
I agree.
I
agree.
Too many injury. That injury alone, I'm not putting that guy in cold weather.
He'll be 31 or 32.
Nope.
Speaking of the Giants, this has been fun.
All kinds of fights.
On Monday, Daniel Jones started a fight, right? Or he at least was in the very middle of it.
Yeah, he not
got in
started it, but he was quick to jump in.
Okay. Yeah. Malik Neighbors started the fight. He started the fight and started throwing punches. So on Monday and Tuesday, the Giants and Lions get into training camp, joint practice fights. Do you enjoy this? Does this bother you? Are you annoyed by it? Is it stupid?
I'm a little bit amazed that teams still do joint practices because this is what happens every single time.
Yeah.
Every time. And you get stupid people swinging helmets and throwing punches. Like, probably not the smartest idea.
DK Metcalf with the Seahawks was swinging a helmet, right?
Yeah.
Neighbors is wearing a helmet. He's trying to punch a guy who's also wearing a helmet.
I'll never understand it. Hockey fights, same thing. I'll never understand it. You're punching a guy with your bare hand who has a helmet on.
At least in hockey, I can get to the face.
But still, they end up punching the helmet.
Yeah,
it's so dumb.
Yeah.
Break your hand
Especially
or cut
as a
it
wide
open.
receiver, this is just
so
not
dumb.
smart. And a quarterback, I think there are coaches in the league who like to see this from their teams.
I like
see
fire.
the offensive linemen mix it up a little bit. I don't need my quarterback and rookie first-round pick receiver doing stuff like that.
And like shoving and talking
yelling
is one thing.
Yeah.
Throwing punches.
Yeah. Okay. This has been an interesting situation unfolding in Philadelphia here. The apparent divide between Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. I was high on Philly right after the draft because I really liked the way they addressed the secondary. They have all the talent in the world at skill positions, including the addition of Saquon Barkley. I thought this team is going to be awesome if the O-line holds up. I didn't know the quarterback and head coach didn't get along. That's a problem when your play caller and your quarterback do not see eye to eye. And so, the seat it was already warm. It's hot now going into the season for Sirianni. This thing starts sideways. Yeah. He's out. You've got two guys behind him in Fangio and Kellen Moore who can take over the reins as head coach.
You know what helps? Win games.
Well, I know that, but they were 10-1, and then they went 1-6.
I get it, but they've got enough talent to win games and keep his seat a little cooler.
Yeah. Okay. What's going to happen with Brandon Ayuk and the 49ers here? My thought is they should trade him because it doesn't appear they're going to be willing to pay him. So in the old baseball terms of things, if you know the guy's in a walk year and you're not going to sign him, you can't afford him, right? The smaller market teams, they trade these guys. Now, San Francisco's not a small market, but it's a salary cap league. And you've got to keep room for a guy like Brock Purdy in order to give him his contract, which he will get at the end of this year. So trade him or make one more fully loaded run for a Super Bowl. What would you do?
I'd probably trade him.
Yeah.
I'd probably trade him.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, they've drafted at that position. They still have Debo and Kittle and McCaffrey, and I would trade him too. But it feels weird to send any kind of white flag up as you are on the brink of winning a Super Bowl.
And I don't know that it's a white flag, though. Like, he doesn't want to be there or you don't want him there. It's a problem. Then get rid of him. He's not the make or break for that team. There are a lot of things that need to go well for that team to win. Namely, people need to stay healthy. But for me, he's not the end all be all for the San Francisco 49ers. He's great.
In a Jets jersey.
But we got people in Jets jerseys holding out that they it's such a joke.
Mike Williams needs to get healthy. The Jets, look, they're going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be fun? I think the Steelers are probably the favorites here to get Ayuk. Wouldn't it be fun if somehow it's not going to happen, but if the Jets made that trade, because the Monday night opener is Jets at Niners, that would be fun. Some NFL training camp questions here. Who would you start at quarterback in Pittsburgh? Russ or Justin Fields?
It's a good question. I love Justin Fields in Pittsburgh. I think he will do better there.
Here's the challenge, and this is not new, but as you try to make this decision or try to determine who your quarterback is beyond this year, they're both on one-year deals.
Right.
I don't know how you will properly evaluate this thing.
Right. Russell Wilson is not your quarterback beyond
this year.
I don't think any X number of I think if he has some kind of crazy breakout year, then maybe you think about it. I think they got Justin Fields hoping that he would be the quarterback of the future. So while I think Russell Wilson gives them the best chance to win this year, I think Justin Fields is their quarterback of the future.
Okay. I would play Fields. He has more dynamic abilities. You can open up the playbook with him. I would just play him. I would just say, hey, for better or worse, this is our guy. If he turns it over and it's a terrible season, that is what I would play Fields. Which of these quarterbacks rookie, because we know Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels are going to play week 1. Any of these other 3 going to play week 1? Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix. I mean, you've got in Minnesota, you've got Sam Darnold. In Denver, where Bo Nix is, you're looking at Jarrett Stidham or Zach Wilson. And in New England, where Drake May was the 3rd overall pick, you are looking at Jacoby Brissett being the stiffest competition there.
I think
only one of the 3 start week.
I think Nix is a slam dunk.
Okay,
I think he starts.
Me too.
I think JJ McCarthy probably starts too.
Week 1.
I know Sam Darnold is like everyone's quintessential backup quarterback. Everyone wants him to be their backup. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts because he's like the comfortable backup.
Yeah.
But why not? I mean, they drafted him pretty high, JJ McCarthy. His ceiling, according to all the scouts and all of everybody, was like that guy went from not being a draft pick to all of a sudden being a high first round pick. I think if anyone doesn't start, it's Drake May because Jacoby Brissett again is like another great backup option to have. But I think all 3 might start.
Okay.
Like these are teams. The Patriots have nothing to lose. They have gotten much, much better. But I think if you're going to say like, let's see what we've got, you throw them out there.
The Patriots stink. I don't think they win. If they win 4 games, I'm going to be surprised.
So you're not throwing them out there?
No, not right away. Not Brissett. You're going to get beat up for a little bit. Drake May maybe takes over late October, November.
But I would feel pretty comfortable saying McCarthy and Nix.
Okay. Nix, I'm with you on. How about this? JJ McCarthy doesn't start a single game this year for Minnesota.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
I think Darnold plays well with what's his name? Kevin O'Connell. And
Justin Jefferson.
McCarthy won't start a single game in Minnesota.
Wow.
The Vikings are going to be better than people think. Everybody's so high on Chicago. I think Detroit takes a little bit of a step back. Green Bay is about what they are.
On Chicago.
I think people are overvaluing Chicago. I could be way wrong here. Caleb Williams maybe lights the world on fire. I think people are overvaluing Chicago. I think Minnesota is going to be better than people think. They've got a really good, I love him. I think they have a really good head coach. And Brian Flores had that defense playing really well late last year. Minnesota's, I think Darnold plays the whole way for them.
You can't be great without a quarterback. So if
Darnold's going to be the guy. I think Darnold, how about this, is this year's Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
He will play well, and he will get a contract from somebody. Now, I have been wrong 1,000 times on Sam Darnold.
Oh.
But I'm back on it here with him.
No, I disagree.
Let's take another time out here on Onorato and Miller.
I'm Jeff Ukelek. I'm owner of Bev's, and we're a beverage center in upstate New York. You're just going to have that wow component when you come in, like, wow, look at this place. It's bright. It's clean. It has everything that I need. Consumer is king. Be able to provide them a friendly environment and a place to shop, no matter where they are, whether they're down here in Saratoga or whether they're up in Queensbury. You're always going to get the same experience when you shop at Bev's. At the end of the day, if you walk in your stores, you're going to see a lot of people that have a lot of pride.
time there. Doesn't matter where, it's always a good time there.
Play to win a 2024 Chevy Camaro convertible through June 29th. Celebrate 20 years of good times at Saratoga Casino Hotel.
It's always a good time.
Learn more at SaratogaCasino.com.
To try, it's always a good time.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alphen House.
All right, back on Onorato and Miller. Again, no TV this week. If you're catching us on social media, this is where we are each and every single week on Thursday nights, usually at 6:30. We'll get back into the routine, certainly in the fall, where we're on every Thursday night exclusively at 6:30. Sam asked the question, and I want to give him the answer. Next remote show, it's been a minute, but I will be at King's Tavern. Ash doesn't even know this yet. I'll be at King's Tavern the Thursday before Travers. I caught up with the Fitch brothers at a charity golf outing this last week, and Jay said to me, "Hey, man, when do you want to do another podcast from Kings?" I said, "How about same as what we did last year, Thursday before Travers?" He said, "Sure." You know, they're selling City Tavern in Saratoga.
I do.
I said to him,
Our friends texted us about trying to buy it.
I texted you about it.
Oh,
I said to Jay, I said,
okay.
Good. I said, man, I saw the news. Good for you guys. Because I think everybody has given him the business. Like, I can't believe you're selling, you know. And I just said, I'm like, good for you guys, man.
Take your life back.
I'm sure you're like, it's time. And so you worry just about Kings.
What was his reaction to that?
Yeah, he was like, it's time. Yeah. We're good. We're good.
Listen,
we've done it since 2002. Like, we're good.
We love some City Tavern.
We did. And
we still do.
Yeah, I mean,
just we don't frequent it.
Correct.
Often.
And I would choose Kings currently over City Tavern. It's a completely different world and vibe. I don't know that
I've never gone to Kings other than to do a show.
Run with the young guns at City Tavern anymore.
You cannot.
Yikes.
You certainly can't dance with them either.
Never could.
And now, Dirty, Difficult, and Done. Sponsored by Performance Industrial.
Karen and Bill Miller, shout out to the Performance Industrial Squad, where there's never a job that's too dirty or too difficult for them to get it done. Ash, you're up.
You sort of mentioned this earlier in the show, which is fine. This is interesting. And I know people say, no, and it's not that I feel bad or I'm saying that he couldn't run. It was impossible. But I would have preferred to see Noah Lyles run at 100% to see if he would win gold in the 200 meter.
Yeah.
He won bronze. After the race, he comes out and says, "Oh, by the way, I have COVID," which I don't know that was a big shock to his teammates. He tested positive on Tuesday morning. And listen, I know people have varying degrees of symptoms these days. We have friends who've had 103 fevers. We have other people who haven't felt it at all. The bottom line is, to win a race of this magnitude, you are running against the best athletes in the world. You have to be at 100% or you don't give yourself the best chance to win. And I think that sucks that we didn't see that from Noah Lyles. And listen, he still won bronze and he had COVID. And I'm not saying maybe he would have run bronze even if he didn't have COVID, but I would have liked to see him run at what he would have assumed was 100%.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I mean, look, you know, he's got COVID. This is pretty impressive to go like 200 meters.
If you have, even if he has like,
he collapsed a little bit on the track afterwards. They're carrying him off. And, you know.
Say you have flu symptoms, like whatever those symptoms would be, and you go out and try to run that at your like, good luck. Yeah, good luck. I've had like a cold and been like,
I'm staying in bed.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, I get it. And that's why, you know,
they're better than we are.
Yeah. And the Jordan flu game gets so much. Yep. And that was the flu, not COVID. And we can draw enough comparisons that it, you know,
for sure.
But
hard to do some of those things.
All right.
Listen, easy when you can have IVs and the best healthcare in the world. Like even just going to work is different for us than Jordan trying to play a basketball game. He's got the best healthcare that money can buy.
Yeah, my Zicam and NyQuil routine is
not going to do
quite
it.
the same.
Yeah.
All right, back with my Triple D in a minute.
Teams, athletes, organizations. We're transforming the custom apparel industry through products and purpose. Claim your crown.
Imagine coming home and slipping into your own personal hot tub from Wellness Spas. Our team at Alpenhaus wants to help you relax and enjoy the advantages of owning your very own hot tub. Visit us at Clifton Park Center in our newly expanded showroom on Route 30 in Amsterdam.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
We were wrapping things up here. We've done a lot of Olympic discussion, but
It's been fun.
rightfully so.
Yeah, it's been
right?
fun.
You get 2 weeks of the summer games. Here's what I'm done with, okay? I am done with these guesstimates of extra time in soccer.
I've been done with this forever.
This sport, and I don't know why it struck me when I was watching the U.S. women's quarterfinal match, maybe, but it was the semis because they needed they scored in the 106th minute in the quarters and then the 94th minute in the semis. And anyway, I'm thinking this sport has been on the cutting edge, at the forefront of technological advancements. VAR has been around for a while, and other sports have not adopted it soon enough. But soccer has had a way of reviewing goals in an advanced format where we don't look at it and think, oh, maybe like we have a way with technology to determine whether or not that's a goal.
Sure.
And yet we can't keep time.
Listen.
Somebody goes down on the field and we have to stop play, start the clock. Okay, clock's running. Person's up off the field. Play resumes. Stop the clock. Okay, that was 4 minutes and 36 seconds. Great. Add that up. Every time that happens, start the clock and then stop it. Then we will know how much added time to put on.
I have a better way.
Not only do they not add up time as it is elapsing, they then go over they say 5 minutes of extra time. Okay, it's been 6 minutes. It's been 7 minutes. And then randomly, the referee decides, blow the whistle, game is over. Go ahead.
Instead of starting your watch and then stopping it,
stop
the game clock and then restart it. And then guess what?
So you'd have no extra
We
time.
don't need extra time. We just go play overtime if we're still tied.
You are annoying soccer fans right now.
What
everywhere.
A trend-setting thought.
The idea of eliminating
stop the clock. And you know what?
Time.
The longer you lay on the ground, the longer we don't play. Forget it. Forget extra time. I want our buddy Jeff to weigh in on this. How do you feel about it? Just stop the game clock. Like every other sport on the planet, stop the game clock.
What's the point of the clock if you don't adhere to the laws of time? Right? Why do we have the clock? You're just now playing baseball. We decided, and even it's not even baseball because at least baseball's 3 outs. We know when it's over.
Right.
We don't know when this extra time is going to actually run out. It's mind-boggling. Again, a sport, it only struck me as extra annoying this time because I'm realizing VAR has been around forever. We have people who are okay with using technology. Why aren't we using a clock? Turn the thing over and let the sand run out. I don't care, but there needs to be some clear way of knowing when time is up in soccer. and there isn't one.
Yeah.
So you say stop the clock. Okay.
I mean, pretty traditional. It's a groundbreaking thinking, I know, but
yeah. Okay.
Then we don't even have to add.
I know.
We just don't have to do any of it. You take all of the work out of it.
Yep. Right. And then if you're going to do that, just count down instead of up. Right? We're counting up. Come on. Will the U.S. women's soccer team win gold on Saturday against Brazil?
Yes.
Will the U.S. men's basketball team win gold on Saturday against France?
Yes.
Will the U.S. women's basketball team win gold?
Yes.
Okay. Sweep.
Sweeping it.
U.S. women's volleyball team playing for gold. They just beat Brazil.
Barely, right?
And that was tight. 5-setter.
I'm not going to stick my neck out on volleyball because I don't know anything about it. I just assume the Americans will win gold because go America.
Go America. Can't end it any better than that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the end of the Olympics. We're back next week with a real focus on baseball's home stretch. Braves are out of the playoff picture currently as we sit. Who cares? They're terrible. And NFL training camp season right around the corner.